Hey everyone, Tim Streifler here with Divi Life, and we are back for another tutorial. We have launched this month a series called Divember. Divember is Divi plus November, and it is a month-long series that we're doing all month long for November, where we are doing daily live streams, or I should say 5 days a week live streams of Divi tutorials. We're doing Divi freebies. We've already given away one awesome Divi child theme earlier this week. And then we're also going to be doing some epic product launches and feature additions to some of our existing Divi products. So definitely do not miss out on Divember. It's happening right now. And if you are seeing this for the first time, definitely check out our other blog posts, part of the Divember series, so you can get those tutorials, get the freebies and all of that. And you can do that at divilife.com, and then just scroll down to the blog and you'll see the Divember posts. And so today we have a really exciting tutorial. But before we get into that, if you are watching this right now, watching it live, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, do me a favor and comment live in the comments, and then say where you are watching from. So where in the world geographically. Definitely would love to hear where you're visiting us from and tuning in from. And then if you were watching this later, you're watching the replay, same thing. Just write replay and then type where in the world geographically you are watching from. So that helps us with tracking purposes, so we know who's watching live versus the replay. And then also it's fun to know where everyone is tuning in from. We have users from all over the world that are watching the Divember series. And so again, super excited to be here and part of the Divember series. If you're just now joining us, Divember is Divi plus November. It's the month-long series we're doing for the whole month of November, where we are doing daily live streams 5 days a week, Divi tutorials. We're doing giving away a lot of really cool products, Divi freebies, as well as we're going to be launching some very, very cool, epic Divi plugins, some of them that we've been working on all year long or even longer that we're finally going to unveil, and then also some really cool feature additions to some of our existing popular Divi products. So definitely don't miss out. And in fact, to make sure you don't miss out, you can actually subscribe to our email list so that you don't miss any of the awesome stuff that we're going to do for Divember. And so on my screen here, you should see a link here that says subscribe to Divi Life and never miss a tutorial freebie. So when you click that, it'll do a pop-up overlay with Divi overlays with an email subscribe. You can unsubscribe at any time, and then that'll make sure that you don't miss any of the cool stuff that we're doing for the Divember series. And then you can also follow us on Facebook, as well as subscribe to us on YouTube. And then you'll get notified when we're live, like right now. And so then you can get everything first before anyone else. So today's tutorial, we're going to show you how to add autocomplete search to Divi. This is a really cool one. I'm really excited about it. Autocomplete search is super, super useful. It's one of those things in web design that is really cool. And as web designers, we get excited that we get to add it to websites, but it's also really, really useful for the user as well. Sometimes there's things that we get excited about as web designers that the user doesn't really care about because they're not impressed by much in 2020. And so this is one of those things that it's both people can really, both sides of it can really get on board with. And so in case you're not familiar with autocomplete search, just go to google.com and start typing anything, and you'll see the predictive text, the autocomplete search there that shows up. That is autocomplete. And so Google, they invented it, they pioneered it. And so now it's become mainstream. And so not just search engines, or not just big enterprise companies can have this type of technology. You can add it to your own WordPress website or your own Divi website. And so there are a bunch of free plugins. You can go to the wordpress.org/plugins and look at different autocomplete search plugins out there. And there's a bunch. However, most of them I don't like. And I'll tell you why here in a couple minutes. But the one we're going to be talking about today is really, really cool. And so show you a couple examples of what it looks like here. And so you can see on my screen here, I have a podcast with my colleague David Blackman called WP the Podcast. And this was actually the previous site. We launched WP the Podcast under our other brand, WP Gears. So this no longer exists, but this is what it did look like. And we need to add it to WP Gears as well. And then here's another example inside. This was taken from our Divi overlays screenshot. And so both of these are actually pop-up overlays built with Divi overlays, our pop-up plugin for pop-up search fields and stuff. And so, but the autocomplete is what we're going to be talking about today. And so this is an example of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using the photo marketplace Divi layout. So you can download that and follow along if you'd like. If you have an Elegant Themes account, which everyone should, then you can download the photo marketplace layout, which it has a built-in search on the homepage that just uses the Divi search module. And you might not realize this, but Divi has a search module. It's one of those modules that most of us probably don't use very often, if at all. But it's actually really powerful, especially when you combine it with what we're going to be talking about today, which is this autocomplete search, which works with the Divi module. And so that's actually why I chose this plugin, and I've used this plugin for a few years now, and it's called Search IQ. Now, I mentioned there's quite a few other ones out there that have autocomplete search, but a lot of them require you to take a short code and put it somewhere on your website, and then you have to style it, and they might have some built-in styling tools, and it's a total pain. What this plugin does, Search IQ, is it will actually take over any existing search fields that you have on your website. So for example, the default Divi header has a search. Now that's using the WordPress search functionality. And then also the same thing with the Divi search module that uses WordPress default search functionality. And so because of that, the Search IQ will take that and then add autocomplete to it. So you don't have to go and add a shortcode anywhere. You don't have to style anything. It's going to just work and look good right off the bat, which is very, very cool. So super excited about that. Now, the tutorial here is going to, the first thing is to go and install the plugin. I kind of briefly here in the blog post show you what it looks like. You have to set up an account on the Search IQ website. Now, I know for some people that's like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. But trust me, it's worth it. The reason they have you do that is because the search technology is actually hosted on their site. And so they'll basically scan your content and build the search library, however you want to say it, on their site, and then it syncs with your website. So that means that they're doing the heavy lifting for you, and it's not using up your website's resources to do that searching, which on a small site probably won't matter much. But if you're doing this on a really big site that has like thousands of blog posts and content and stuff out there, and a ton of users using the search, you want to outsource that search to a company, a website that specializes in it, rather than having that on your own WordPress website to bog down your server. And so that's one of the other reasons why I really like Search IQ. And it's absolutely free up to 2,000 posts. So very, very cool. So you can go and quickly create an account. It takes about a minute. And then you have to verify your email. And then they'll give you an API key that you put into your website once you install the Search IQ plugin. So very, very simple. I'm not going to walk you through. However, if you feel that you need some guidance, the Search IQ plugin on the WordPress repo, they have a video here that will walk you through the installation and account creation, but it's very straightforward. So once you add it to your site, it's going to give you a configuration page that looks similar to this. And this basically is where you tell the plugin what you want them to index and make searchable to the user. So say, for example, you only want your blog post to be searched. You don't want people searching for the pages. You want it to be all about the blog. Okay, well, you can come in here and you can uncheck the page. So you can do that very, very simply. Now, you also want to make sure that there's not anything else in there that you don't need. So for example, certain plugins will add custom post types, and that's it's a type of post. And so it might not be something that you need indexed and searched for. So you just want to make sure that you have it unchecked. So very, very cool. Now that's basically all the settings you need. You can definitely go and customize different things and change the look, but I'm going to show you with it out of the box. And I think it looks great and doesn't really need anything. But once you install it and you do this part, then it just works. So I'm going to make sure I refresh the page with this active. So as I mentioned, it's going to take over any existing WordPress search functionality. And so for example, the default Divi search that is on the default header as well as in the theme builder headers, it uses WordPress default search functionality. And so you can go up here and start typing and see that it adds it does the autocomplete here. And so someone can go and they can just click on the post directly, or they can click show all 5 results and it'll go to a search results page. So very, very cool. Now, I mentioned we're using the photo marketplace layout. This is a layout that comes with Divi, and it has this search field here that's using the Divi search module. And as I mentioned already, you probably didn't even know that Divi had a search module, or maybe you knew it was there but just never used it. That's probably the case for me. I think it maybe a couple times that I've actually used it. And so this layout has it built, the search module, as a part of the layout. And so we can go and we can start typing and it'll autocomplete. Now I just created using I went into where is it here? The projects post type. So Divi adds a projects post type. It's part of the portfolio. And so I just added 5 sample projects and assigned a featured image. That way I can have something to show up, because this is just a demo website and there's not a lot of content. But that's something worth noting is we all typically are familiar with adding featured images to blog posts, but for this search result, you definitely want to add featured images for your pages. Otherwise, it'll just show up blank. It's not terrible, but it looks a lot better when there's a featured image that goes along with it for pages and custom post types and stuff like that. So very, very cool. So you can click on it and it'll, of course, go right to the post. This is blank. I haven't added anything to it, so it's not going to look good. And then you also have the option to go to the results page. And so the results page looks like this. And you can definitely go in and style it, make it full width, and change the look. And you can look at the settings that are built into the Search IQ configuration options for the search results page. So it looks clean, doesn't look terrible, doesn't look great. I would probably get rid of the sidebar and maybe add some content above it. But that's basically it. Very, very clean, very smooth. As you can see, it's very, very responsive in how quickly it will pull up the post, and it's able to do that because it indexes it on their website, and so it's not using up valuable server resources on your own WordPress hosting. So that is it for this tutorial. It's very straightforward, very easy. As you can see, no coding required to add autocomplete search. There's no different things you have to do. You don't have to add a shortcode anywhere. Once you get it installed and activated, it just works and adds that autocomplete search, which will impress your visitors because it's really useful. And then it also just looks really cool too. So really, really excited to share this tutorial. So hopefully you found this useful. Definitely let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have any tutorial requests. We have a lot of tutorials that are we have planned out for the Divember series. But if you have anything specific you want, we'll add it to the list. And if we don't cover it for Divember, we'll cover it in the future on our blog here with a Divi tutorial. So again, definitely subscribe to our email list to make sure that you can get all of the Divi tutorials and freebies and everything that we're doing as part of the Divember month-long series. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and until the next Divember post, take care. Bye-bye.